Whoa! One down. Feel like we're out of frame, Drew. Let's fix it.
Maybe.
Hi, Googan. Here's a close-up. Let's get a little more Drew, a little more beef. Hey, I'm just going to stay here for the rest of the video. So.
Whatever. We're good.
Nate Hackett is out.
Yes.
By the way, hi, Beef.
Drew.
Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. How was yours, Drew?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Yeah, besides, everything.
Besides everything, it was good. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, from a rooting perspective, Drew had a rough weekend.
Yeah.
As these guys...
Pretty used to it at this point.
These guys did not really show for themselves very well on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then, and then the Jaguars also. Not exactly a spectacular showing on Sunday against the Bills yesterday, as the Jags just got curb stomped in Buffalo in the second half.
Mm.
You know, they hung with them, they battled, they got it moving, but once it was a total sea change event when they had the deep pass to Moncrief followed by Leonard Fournette being thrown out after the fight. Everything was different. Everything was different.
You really felt. And again, it's easy to say this now, but when you look back on it, it's almost, if Leonard doesn't get ejected there and he goes in and punches it up and it's 21-14, I got to think they're in pretty good shape.
Well, you're certainly feeling pretty good because of the way they're running the ball
Right.
with Leonard. That things were going pretty good on that side of the ball. Of course, we felt the same way against Pittsburgh, and we kept running the ball, and that evaporated.
Sure.
So
well,
who
you
knows?
even heard Tony Baselli this morning say that he was 99.9% sure on first and goal from the one that Carlos Hyde ran
the wrong way.
The wrong way and would have walked in for a touchdown had he had just gone the right way.
Right.
Which one could assume, being here for a little bit longer than Carlos Hyde, Leonard Fournette would have done and would have gone the right way.
You would think.
You would think.
Yeah.
But who knows?
And as Baselli said, it's the best that Leonard has looked in his professional career.
Yeah.
That's the best
He looked really good.
Looked really strong.
He looked really good. And that right hand looked hard.
Was making moves. I mean, he looked really good.
Yeah.
Until he made one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen in a professional football game. In that, I know it's heated. It's a little bit of a chippy game, and you've got an incident there in the corner when Moncrief catches the ball, and some guys are getting after it, and your guy Carlos Hyde's getting kind of thrown up against the wall there by Lawson, and you get angry.
Sure.
But if you are on the sideline and not even part of the play that led to the altercation, it's been hammered home over and over and over again that you do not leave the sideline.
By the way, even though one would say Leonard won the fight, even though who cares? Even though one would say that, Buffalo wins that, by the way, Leonard, because now our best player is gone, and they lose Shaq Lawson.
Right, trading Shaq Lawson for Leonard Fournette is a net gain for Buffalo.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. It was a bad call, and Leonard, you got to wonder about the decision-making process because, we talked about, Jeff talked about this. At some point, and Tony too, at some point when you're darting across the field running 50 yards with your helmet, at some point, the voice in your head has to say, hey, this is a bad idea.
Maybe I shouldn't do it.
This is a bad idea, guys. I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
But no, we kept on trucking, man. We ran straight across the field, and we went straight for Shaq Lawson, and straight down the tunnel and out of the game. And for all intents and purposes, that cost them the game. Now, they may have gone and lost the game anyways, because, like we said, the run game dried up against Pittsburgh, too, and Blake Bortles was playing beyond bad. Yeah. Beyond bad. Just trash all around.
I just got this feeling like in each of these last four games, right, there's, and this isn't a bias, this is not biased to say, the Jags could have easily won each of the last four games. They really could have.
Yeah.
Eagles, Colts, Steelers, Bills. You could have won all four of them.
Right.
And you could point to one thing and go, wow, this is the new creative way the Jags found to lose this game. With the Eagles, it's probably the Cole fumble or maybe throwing, 30 out of 31 plays or something like that. With the Colts, It's the Rashad Green fumble. With the Steelers, it's blowing a 16-0 lead in the last quarter, blowing a 10-point lead.
I mean, with
in
the Steelers, it's the offensive play call.
Yeah.
It's going so vanilla in the second half.
And then with the Bills,
and just shipping it.
it's Leonard Fournette going UFC on everybody and getting himself kicked out of the game and going from first and goal from the 1 to end up and scoring basically 2 again, Moncrief was short, so that's fine. But you think he got a touchdown there. He's down at the 1. He was down at the 1. Fine. Then DD scores. And look, let me say this. It was holding. Sure. But they threw the flag so damn late. And like Tony Baselli said, how can McDermott run all the way down to the 5, scream holding, the guy's in the end zone, and then they throw the flag?
Yeah. How can you leave the coach's box?
If you really saw the hold, throw the flag when it's happening. Not after, not when the guy's screaming in. Like, the worst part is knowing that if that play was reversed and he's running towards the Jaguars sideline and you don't have, and the ref's over there, they're not gonna throw the flag because we're not gonna be screaming for the hold.
And look, it was obviously a tipping point for the team as well, as the news broke this morning that the Jags have fired offensive coordinator Nate Hackett. I don't think that's particularly surprising. Look, Nate got dealt a really bad hand.
Yeah.
Nobody's disputing that.
Yeah.
Okay, because Blake Bortles has regressed horribly. The offensive line has been beaten up. Leonard Fournette missed, basically half the season. The receivers have not been good. The tight end group has been bad and injured. So it was a rough hand for Nate Hackett. But that being said, still the play calling was not good. And look, somebody has to be the scapegoat. And Doug Moreau's probably not going anywhere, which means he's going to have to make some changes on the staff. I wouldn't be surprised if Todd Wash finds his walking papers by the after the season as well. But the defense at times has looked very good too, and not as dreadful as the offense. So it's understandable that Nate Hackett's got to go down first.
The thing about the defense and why Wash, by the way, let me put this for the record. I think Wash is worse than Hackett. I think I get why obviously all the blame is on the offense, because look, at the end of the day, you look defensively. This is why Wash I'm not saying maybe can hang. I mean, there's still a good defense,
right. But some of
it's just the way you invested your money. Right. You need them to be better than good.
And some of the things Wash dials up with that defense seem very unimaginative.
No, you're right. Louis Riddick, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm ex-GM, all over ESPN and all that. Really good. I really respect his opinion. I think he's really, really smart. Basically was bashing the Jaguars in the first quarter. Yeah. And said if we kept running the same schemes, he was like, watch, you're going to get torched in this game. And then literally 5 minutes later, Josh Allen threw a 75-yard bomb.
This is a week after he railed on him after the Pittsburgh game too, saying that the Jags play dumb defense. Yeah. That the way they defend is not smart. That the way they line up is not smart.
That goes back to my point of why I think Wash is worse than Hackett, because look at the talent that Wash has, and time again, you're scratching your head. But again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know a ton schematically about defenses and whatnot. But your eyes can sit there and tell you that whatever's going on, it's not great.
It's not great.
It's not great.
It's bad. And we've got 5 games to go on what is now a completely lost season. The Jags at best could finish 500, which who are we trying to kid here? They're not going to go win the next 5 games and finish 500.
I don't know if they'll win another one.
Well, I was going to say, what's more likely, Drew? The 5-game win streak to finish 8-8, or the 5-game losing streak to finish?
Yeah, it's much more likely that they lose out.
I mean, Jeff even flat out called it today. He said they'll lose out. They'll go 3-13. Dan says Paz should have been on staff and groomed to be a coordinator. I get tired of all the Paz stuff, man. People have, I don't know what it is. I like him just fine, but people, I don't know what it is. I think it's because the defense has struggled. People have placed Paul Posluszny on this ivory tower.
You guys remember that last year, nobody really liked Paz that much.
And Paz played about a dozen snaps in the 2, playoff games.
The bigger problem isn't that we lost Paz. Here's the bigger problem.
They didn't replace Paz.
Is that Telvin Smith is having the worst year of his career, and he plays like a lighter, but faster, but weaker, and just as bad in pass coverage, Paz.
Yeah.
He doesn't even fill gaps like Paz did.
I mean, it's a bad situation. I don't think Paz playing this year or being on the staff or whatever would have made a damn bit of difference.
No, it wouldn't have.
Paul Posluszny was not great last year. People talk about his veteran influences. Those aren't veteran guys in that clubhouse defensively as well. I don't think it matters. Paul Posluszny was not very good last year. And keep in mind, Paul Posluszny's a guy who played a long career, was very good. What did
you say? Yeah,
that was his first playoff last year. He never contributed to a team going to the postseason. I mean, he racked up a bunch of tackles. He's a good player.
He's a good player.
Great.
Yeah.
But he wasn't making the difference for this defense. He just wasn't. Everything went right last year. Things are going wrong this year, and that's the difference. It has it makes no bearing if you had 51 back there in the middle. Things would still be going wrong for this team, and the defense would still be backsliding. It wouldn't matter.
Like we've already talked about, what's really happened is all these players you banked on taking this next level have either stayed the same or regressed.
Right.
Like I said, Telvin Smith's having the worst year of his career. Jalen Ramsey's having a fine year, but he's not having the best corner in the league type year. Miles Jack has been good, but he hasn't taken that next step that everybody thought he would take. Calais, Yannick, and Jackson, I mean, we're not getting sacks. Calais has actually played pretty good, by the way, in run defense, but what do we have, 23 sacks? We had like 51 last year or something like that.
I mean, two things that they did so well last year, they haven't done this year, and there are things that tend to be fluid in the NFL, that it doesn't mean you're bad or good, but picks and sacks are things that sort of fluctuate like this.
Buffalo has a horrible offensive line, and half the time yesterday it was infuriating how little bit of quarterback pressure it seemed like we got. And when we did, Josh Allen would just take off and run for 100 yards.
That was the more frustrating thing, was you knew the only thing that Josh Allen could do was run the ball. And when he would break contain and go run, they didn't seem prepared for it. They seemed caught off guard by it every single time.
The only way the Bills were going to score were either off turnovers or off of big chunk plays, and we gave them both of those things.
Grady says, do you think Ramsey's going to be here next year?
Yes.
If he's not, then they're a dumb franchise that deserves to lose.
He'll be here next year.
Yeah. He's a premier player at a premier position. You don't give those guys up. We just got done harpooning the Raiders for the entire offseason for trading Khalil Mack for a bag of magic beans.
And look what it's done.
It's turned the Bears' season completely around, and the Raiders are a flaming
pile
of crap.
The Bears are literally the Jaguars from last year with a better quarterback.
Correct.
That's them. They got a really good defense, and they actually have more offensive weapons than the Jags, and Trubisky's also better. So, and Allen Robinson is healthy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Allen.
It's going great. So we waved the white flag on 2018. Draft talk is officially here. Jags right now in the tiebreaker with the Giants, which is really critical. They own the tiebreaker over New York because when you look at the top of the draft,
we both need quarterbacks.
There's not a lot of QB thirsty teams in front of Jacksonville and New York. So
I also heard that. So I heard the argument this morning on. So if you're sitting at 3, and none of these quarterbacks really grade out that way. What always happens though, in all these drafts, no matter what, is guys that you would sit there and say they're probably middle to end first rounders or like second round guys, their stock skyrockets because it's a quarterback driven league, and those teams at the top typically need quarterbacks.
And that's what makes me nervous. Fans always, we got a lot of messages from fans today on the text line and via Twitter. And everybody's saying, we'll just get Will Grier in the second round. We'll get Will Grier in the second round.
Will Grier is not going to last.
Will Grier will not be in the second round, guys. If it's going like this, teams will get panicky. I'm telling you,
it always happens. Like, you'll look up and all of a sudden Will Grier is going like 10th overall.
Right. And this just in. That guy that every fan is in love with, that guy's not going to be a sneaky, under-the-radar guy. If you've caught on to him, then so have they. And, Will Grier will rise. Then there's this guy. Are you done with the pod?
How those Knowles doing, boys?
Wait, boys?
Huh?
Boys.
I'm not.
What's that little shirt? What's that? Huh?
What are you doing?
Huh?
Let's go, baby.
Where's you got your money for your brother?
Yeah, I got it for him.
Make sure you pay him.
You owe the Boy King money?
Yeah, we bet 20.
$20?
Yeah.
Does the Boy King even have $20?
He might
or
not.
was he that confident?
He might not.
Was it such a sure thing? That
He went
bet
to the game.
$20 he didn't have. There's no way he would get $20 out of his older brother. That's
I mean, what he does typically
a
is
poor investment on your part.
he tries. I don't care. He tries. He does these things where we make these bets all the time. Then he'll be like, yeah, he'll find some like little cop out. I made it very clear to him. I said I can give you $20, but you better have my 20 if we win. I mean, we didn't win, so it doesn't matter. But you know,
You wouldn't have had the 20 either.
by the way, let's talk a little bit about Mac
Yes, please.
Brown. Mac Brown and I just got into a little argument with Twitter.
You don't want to talk about Willie at all?
Facebook list Jeff.
Twitterless Jeff.
We'll get all into it. Jeff likes the Mac Brown hire because he says he's 60. He said he liked it.
He didn't say he liked it. He said he's fine with it.
He said he's fine with it. He said who else? He said there's not a lot of other 67-year-olds out there who have won a national title.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, then maybe they should have just hired Spurrier.
Well, maybe
Spur Dogs.
Spur's got a job, though. He's with the Apollos, man.
I mean, come on,
He's busy.
man. Mac Brown, have you guys listened to him on television? The guy is senile.
I'm not saying
It's like hiring Lee Corso.
Look, the list for the Carolina job, at least per a couple of reports.
That's the only way
Is
that
Mac Brown, like Gene Chiswick.
That's
I mean,
look. That's
it's
the only,
North Carolina.
That's the
bro.
only way I can see your argument. It's like, who are they gonna get?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's
But
going to UNC.
get a coach.
A reclamation project or an old guy who's past his prime.
I
That's who you're
mean,
gonna get.
maybe they should call Bill Cowher. He won a Super Bowl. I mean, what the?
Or look at the coaches they've had since.
I know.
Butch.
I know.
Butch went there and cheated.
I know.
Then Fedora was terrible.
Fedora, man, what a
Mac
fall from grace. By the way, Fedora could come on my offensive staff. I'll take a good off. I'd take him on my offensive
I had some
staff.
good call today. Saying the Jags should hire Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury.
He got himself run out at
My
Texas
buddy
Tech.
actually just texted me that, but he said, "Don't let him go to the beach bars. He's too good looking." That's what he
I
said,
see.
which is fair because he kind of looks like a little Matthew
Speaking of Texas
McConaughey,
Tech, by
whatever
the
he
way,
looks like.
I'm thrilled about the Texas Tech situation because at least the whispers are circulating now that the Pirate may be riding on his steed back into Lubbock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
really?
Leach is ready to ride him and
That'd
Let's
be
go,
great.
Pirate!
That'd be great.
I want the Pirate back in the Big 12 so bad because
That'd be
I want
awesome.
games like Saturday's Oklahoma, West Virginia every week.
Mhm.
And that would be the Pirate. That's Pirate ball. It'd
And-
be 56-44 every week.
And by the way, since you brought up Willie, we can do it for a second. We can talk for a second.
Floor is yours, Drew.
Look, it's I'll stand in the paint on this one. There's no. It's been a horrible year. I mean, it's been a disaster.
Streak is dead.
The streak's dead. He gets an F. I mean, I don't know what else to give the guy. I'm not dead on him. Yeah, I'm gonna give him another year. I get because I have to. It's highly concerning. I'll put it. All the Florida fans who are saying, "Well, Dan Mullen went 9-3 in his first year, and so did Urban Meyer, and they both beat Florida State by 12." Well, Bobby Bowden went 5-6 in his first. I mean, look, you can't do that. It doesn't matter. But here's the obvious thing that everyone has to admit. If you're a Florida State guy, Florida State's roster is way better than Florida's right now. Way better, and they got hammered, and that's nothing more than coaching. And so that's that. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not concerning, but I'm also not going to have Florida fans talk to me about bad hires when we've made potentially one in the last 50 years. All right? I mean, you guys got like 5 cracks at it before you might have gotten one right. Look, we're in the doghouse right now. I got nothing to say. I'm just saying, don't come at me about bad hires. I mean, we might have just taken a play out of the Gators playbook, I guess. I don't know what happened.
Maybe.
It's not good. But we'll see. Maybe next year against Boise, all of a sudden, we'll look great. Probably not.
One last question from a listener, viewer before we go. Who will be the OC for the rest of the season?
They'll promote somebody.
Guess what, Matthew?
It doesn't
if
matter.
Blake Bortles is still the quarterback, it doesn't matter one bit who the offensive coordinator
I will
is.
say, I really do appreciate all the fans who still care when we're 3-8 and it's over.
Because it is.
It's so done. Who cares who the OC is going to be?
Yeah.
Honestly, who cares?
Who cares?
You know what I care about? Whether or not Dave Caldwell is going to have his job for the next draft, or whether we're keeping. That's what I care about. I care about what's happening.
Right.
Future.
You know what we care about?
What's that?
Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, guys. Don't forget the J Fund Radiothon is tomorrow all day here on 1010
You said
XL.
you think we have a chance of beating FSU? Who?
The Jaguars?
Yeah.
I don't know. So tune in. If you can, please give tomorrow, especially during the morning show, because we want our trophy back. I kid because we care. But whenever it is. If
Oh, that's
you can give
tomorrow.
to the J Fund, please do. Tomorrow in the 7 o'clock hour, we will talk to the Godfather, who'll also be on with the Afternoon Drive show. But the important thing is he'll be on with Dan and Jeff. Tomorrow morning, about 7:18 with Dan and Jeff. It'll be the Godfather, Tom Coughlin, in studio. Which means he'll probably be here about 7:10 Coughlin time, and we better be ready for him. So on that note, please tune in and please give if you can. 96 kids roughly every year in Jacksonville are diagnosed with cancer, and the J Fund does a lot to help those people. So if you can give, please do. Tomorrow's Giving Tuesday, so save a little bit of that Cyber Monday cheese you were thinking about dropping.
Especially during 6 to 10.
Especially some of that Cyber Monday cheese you were thinking of throwing at Bezos today. Set a little of it aside.
6 to 10.
Save it for the kids. Love you, Googans. Bye.